Welcome back everybody to NorSpeaksOut. I'm Nor and we're here for ancient African history and diaspora stories, and today we are going to do a quick video on Egyptian history. So I'm going to give you Egyptian history in 7 minutes. Are you ready? This video is just a snapshot, just a small fragment of the information, just the wealth of information that is available, that is out there concerning Egyptian history. There's so many research studies that are taking place right now, so many archaeological digs that are happening, that are constantly uncovering new information and new details about the way this ancient people lived, and the things this African people did all those years ago. So first things first, ancient Egyptians never referred to themselves as Egyptians. Bizarre. So the word Egypt was originally used by the Greeks to refer to this people of North Africa. Then it was used by Rome, but Egyptians actually refer to themselves as Kemet, and their land as Kemet, and this word is believed to mean people of the Black Land or the Black Land. This amazing empire lasted around 2,700 years, just over, and so that spanned from about 3,100 BCE up until about 300 BC. This doesn't include the estimated 2,000 years or so where the dynasty or the empire, the civilization was developing prior to that. So modern historians of Egypt, of Kemet, tend to separate their history into 3 separate periods. So you have the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom. In between those 3 periods, the Old, the Middle, and the New Kingdom, Kemet or Egypt was in a period where it was quite unstable, and there was quite a bit of conflict between Egyptians and various other nations, and so that's why modern historians have separated their history and that timeline in the way that they have. So the Old Kingdom was roughly around 2,600 to 2,100 BC. This is the time where the pyramids were built. So then we have the Middle Kingdom, so that lasted around 2,000 up until about 1,600 BCE. So this was a period of time where Nubia, just south of Egypt, conquers Egypt, puts their female pharaohs, their female leaders, in charge of Egypt, of Kemet. Finally, we have the New Kingdom, so this is roughly 1500 BC up until about 1000 BC, and this is where Egypt begins to look a little bit more like our modern empires that we know of today, where they begin to take control and dominate surrounding areas like Syria, Lebanon, and Nubia. So Kemet or Egypt was predominantly sort of focused or made up of 5 independent city-states along the Nile. So from the north, we have Heliopolis going south, Memphis, Abydos, Thebes, and Neken. And these sort of city-states were along the Nile and were the places, of course, of sort of key areas for trade and commerce for the empire to flourish in the way that it did. So moving on, so the most common practice in Egypt for a significant proportion of the duration of the empire was polytheism. So Egypt had a pantheon of over 2,000 gods. Some of the most common ones were Isis, Seth, Ra, Amun, Horus, and so many more. As most of you already know, so spirituality and kingship were very much interlinked in Kemet. It was commonly believed that pharaohs were manifestations of spiritual beings, and in death the pharaohs would return to their true essence as gods, as spiritual beings. There was this belief that some animals possessed some divine powers. Also, particularly cats were believed to have some kind of power, significant higher power. This is still quite common in many North African and West African people groups even today. Kemet was so mineral rich, which is part of the reason why it became the civilization that it did was because of the natural resources the people had along the Nile. So some of these resources included gold, papyrus, linen, copper, ivory, ebony, iron, and so much more. Egyptians were really famous for their maths ability. So they came up with the cubit. So that's the measurement from your elbow up until the tip of your middle finger. This is how they built the pyramids with the level of precision that they did. People from Kemet mixed their knowledge and understanding of maths, but also astrology, came up with a 24-hour division of a day, and they also used the same understanding to come up with a solar calendar that also included a 365-day year. So finally, like all empires do, Egypt, Kemet, came to an end. And so this took place roughly around 400 BCE, starting with a series of invasions from the Persians, followed by the Greeks, which was then solidified after that by Rome in around 30 BC. Kemet, Egypt, and all of its glory and magnificence came to an end. And that's it. That's 7 minutes of Egyptian history. That's 7 minutes of the history of this people from Kemet. I will definitely do another video about Egyptian history. Another one coming up about Egyptian medicine, so look out for that. If you have any other questions and you want to put them in, like add them into the comments if you have any questions. If you know anything else about Egyptian history and you want to share, by all means, please do that as well. So that's me, I'm done, we're finished. So I'm Nor, this is Nor Speaks Out, and I have spoken, and so I ask you as always, Wahura, which means, are you listening?